Welcome to episode 5 in this beginner guitar series. In this episode, we'll be going over rhythm, learning how to count whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. Let's look at our rhythm in music and the different kinds of notes that tell us what to play. Our first one is called a whole note. Now this takes up a whole bar or measure in music. What that means, in this case, is it takes up 4 beats. Sometimes in music you'll see bars that take up less or more than 4 beats, but still a whole note will always be 4 beats. Alright? The next one that we have is a half note. These take up half the bar instead of the whole bar. These take up 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll hear it on the 1 and on the 3. For quarter notes, these take up 1 beat each, so you'd hear it on the 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes now take up half a beat. So now we've actually got to add another word here to count. I've used a plus sign to symbolize the word and. So we have 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. For our 16th notes, these take up a quarter of a beat. We call these 1, E, and a. So we've got now 4 words or vowels taking up this 1 beat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Let's try listening to these with a drum loop, and we'll try and count along. So we're going to start with the whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And there's how we learn about rhythm in music. Welcome to the 5th episode in our beginner guitar series. In this episode, we'll be going over rhythm, and more specifically, how to play whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. Now, in most songs, in popular music definitely, you'll hear it being counted in 4/4. Now what this means is for each measure or bar of music, you have 4 beats. You'll hear this counted out as just simply 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it repeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 at a steady pulse. Now, let's just try playing along with that pulse, except we're going to play on the 1, and it's going to hold out for the rest of the bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that right there is a whole note. You're holding the note for the whole 4 beats. The next note is a half note. Now, if the whole note took up the whole bar, the half note takes up half the bar. Half the bar of 4 beats is 2 beats. So this one, we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. Each note takes up 2 beats. Okay? Let's try that one more time. Ready? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? After half note, we've got quarter note. As you might presume, this takes up the quarter of the bar. This is just 1 beat out of the 4. Ready? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is played on every beat of the bar. After quarter note, we've got eighth note. Now it might be hard thinking about what comes after every beat, because how can it get smaller than that? But the eighth note takes up half a beat. And we're going to have to come up with a new way to count these eighth notes. Instead of just saying every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to add an and in between each. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay? Let's try doing a couple of those. Ready? 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now slow this down at any speed that you're comfortable with. It's more important to get accurate and in-time notes rather than trying to do as fast as possible. Now I haven't talked much about our picking before, but what I've been doing so far is called downstrokes. I'm just doing a downward motion on the strings. But there's also things called upstrokes. And this is where you do an upward motion on the string. Okay? We're going to be combining these two to do a downstroke and then an upstroke. This can be kind of tricky at first, especially to not try and play multiple strings at once. One way to really train this isolation is to place your palm near this part of the guitar here, the bridge, and do what's called a palm mute. This makes sure that you're only moving your wrist and keeping it to a very small movement, okay? It's okay if it might be tricky to get that sound out at first. We're mostly just focusing on isolating the wrist. So we're going to just try doing downstroke, upstroke. Okay? Now let's try doing it in time. We're going to go real slowly here, but now we have to come up with a new way of naming these 16th notes, okay? So we've gotten our 8th notes, which are half a beat. Our 16th notes are a quarter of a beat. We've got our 1 and, 2 and, so we're going to just put a new syllable in between there. 1 E and a. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay? Let's try doing that really slowly with our downstroke, upstroke. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay? If this is too easy, and I actually encourage you to try this once you're more comfortable enough with playing this on your low E string, play it on one of your center strings. This makes sure that you're not hitting either the string above or the string below. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay? We've now gone over every kind of note that we can play with rhythm. We're going to now try to combine them. So we've got our whole note, which lasts for the whole bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our half note, which lasts for half the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and finally our 16th notes with the downstroke and upstroke. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Remember to practice at your own speed. We're going to try doing these back to back, each bar going from one note to the next. First bar, whole note. Second bar, 2 half notes. Third bar, 4 quarter notes. Fourth bar, 8 eighth notes. Which bar am I on? The next bar, 16 16th notes. All right? Ready? 2, 3, 4. Whole note, 2, 3, 4. Half note, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4 eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Okay? Once you've got a bit of a feeling of this, try and play it with a metronome. This will make sure that you're not cheating yourself and playing with a sort of variable tempo. So I'm going to set my metronome to 50 BPM. This is a really good BPM to try and start at to keep a steady rhythm that's not too challenging, okay? And if it is too challenging, feel free to slow it down, okay? So I'm just going to count in and try and play along with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4 eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Okay? Practice this as slow as you need and as many times as you need. Your rhythm can never be too good or too perfect. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.